Hello, hello, and welcome back to Asheric Meditation. And welcome back to my channel. We're here to read part 5 of Good Citizens, Creating an Enlightened Society by Thich, Nhat, Hanh. We're going to jump right back into it on the 5th part, the 3rd Noble Truth, Happiness is Possible. And again, we are here live on TikTok, but if you want to catch the previous parts of this book or the other 2 books that I've read, for YouTube, you can find my YouTube channel as Asheric Meditation. I forgot where I was already. We are on TikTok Live. All right, hello. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you're having a great morning so far. Good afternoon, I should say, so far. All right, the 5th part, the 3rd Noble Truth, Happiness is Possible. Once we understand the causes of our suffering, we can see that transforming them will lead to the cessation of ill-being, namely to well-being. If there is ill-being, the opposite of ill-being is there at the same time. It's like the left and the right. When you confirm the existence of ill-being, you confirm the existence of something else, which is well-being. Well-being cannot be there without ill-being, and vice versa. The cessation of suffering and the existence of well-being is the 3rd Noble Truth. When the roots of suffering are absent, we can be free and happy, and we can act ethically, motivated by our understanding and compassion. Well-being and ill-being. Well-being is the cessation of ill-being, just as light is the cessation of darkness. Ill-being is there. That is the 1st Noble Truth. When we know that something unpleasant produces ill-being, but we also know that something pleasant can produce ill-being as well. For example, falling in love can bring suffering in its wake. Sometimes we only see the ill-being. We see the garbage or the mud, but we miss the lotus that grows in it. The 3rd Noble Truth reminds us that not only ill-being, but also well-being is there. Because of the cessation of ill-being, there is the presence of well-being. The cessation of ill-being means the presence of well-being. The 3rd Noble Truth confirms the existence, the possibility of well-being. The 3rd Noble Truth reminds us that it is possible to live happily in the present moment. It is an affirmation that ill-being can be transformed. There is a path that leads to happiness, and we need to learn that path. The 3rd Noble Truth is based on the understanding that each of us has Buddha nature. The seed of the Buddha is inside us. When all have the ability to be mindful, to be concentrated, and to have deep insight. I'll repeat that one more time. We all have the ability to be mindful, to be concentrated, and to have deep insight. Watering the seeds. According to Buddhist psychology, inside every human being are the seeds of all the various mental formations. We have the seeds of compassion and loving kindness in us. We also have the seeds of craving and violence. What seeds manifest depends in large part on what seeds were watered in our childhoods by our ancestors. It's like a stream of running water. If you dig a canal that slopes to the west, the stream will flow to the west. If you dig a canal that slopes to the east, the water will flow to the east. We can learn how to dig the canal to go to the direction of happiness and well-being. Pardon me, I'll be right back. My dog is trying to get into my laundry hamper. He wants my socks. I'll be right back. Okay, you can have one sock. He gets one sock to keep him happy. There you go. All right. According to Buddhist psychology, inside every human being are the seeds of all various mental formations. We have the seeds of compassion and loving kindness in us. We also have the seeds of craving and violence. What seeds manifest depends in large part on what seeds were watered in our childhoods by our ancestors. It's like the stream of running water. If you dig a canal that slopes to the west, the stream will flow to the west. If you dig a canal that slopes to the east, the water will slope to the east. We can learn how to dig the canal to go in the direction of happiness and well-being. Happiness is relative. Despite all suffering in the world, we each also have many opportunities of happiness. When we water the seeds of mindfulness through practice, happiness will appear. The other morning when I opened my water tap to wash my face, I felt my fingers as they were in touch with the water. I felt that the water was very fresh. The water had either come from a very deep source in the earth or from high mountains, and it was connected to the water tap in my room. Outside it was very cold, so the water inside was also very cold. And when I wet my eyes, it was so refreshing, like the Buddha's teaching. Whenever I brush my teeth, I do so aware that I am free of all agitation, worries, and projects. I dwell peacefully, freely, happily in the present moment, in touch with what is positive, like the cool, fresh water. My eyes are still in good condition and my legs still let me walk. I'm very happy. So our happiness is very relative. If you have more mindfulness, then your happiness increases. Because you're aware of the positive elements of your life, you're happier. But if you're not mindful, if you're carried away by your worries, your irritations, or your fear, then you won't be very happy in that moment. Finding happiness in the present moment. Suppose you are concerned about your health. Perhaps you are ill and you keep thinking about the past when you were healthier. Maybe you keep thinking about the future and imagining the situations might get worse. When you do this, your energy is dispersed. If you're concerned about your health and if you're putting your energy into worrying and you don't know what to do, then what you should do is go home to the present moment. When you go home to the present moment, you have the chance to get the insight and the wisdom to know that what you should do and what you should not do. You will have more insight into what will improve the situation. When you go home to the present moment, you see that there is worry and tension in you, tension in your body and worry in your mind. You know that this is not good for your healing. When you go home to yourself, you have an opportunity to find out that there are things you can do right away to help you take steps in the right direction of healing and transformation. Releasing your body and stopping the tension and worry are concrete things you can do right away. As practitioners, we know how to do that. We know how to breathe in mindfully and allow our breath to flow naturally. We know that breathing in and out can be very enjoyable. Some people say, "Oh, I know the present moment. It's very boring." These people are used to being caught in the past and living in the world of memory. That's because they don't have the habit of being in the present moment. They're used to living in the past and they consider the past to be their home. They're always sliding back into the past, worrying about the worries of the past, becoming fearful based on what made them fearful in the past, and so on. They have the impression that the past is their home. They're used to it, so they feel more at home in the past. Or they dream about the future, anticipating things that may happen. When they say the present moment is boring, it means they're never really being in the present moment. But the present is life. It's a whole world to discover. Your body is here in the present moment. Your life is here in the present moment. And the world is here in the present moment. That's why it's so important that we come home to the present moment in order to truly live our lives. You may share the live. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. For anyone who's just dropping in with me, my name is Ashley. I'm a meditation teacher of Asheric Meditation up here. You can find my YouTube through the link in my bio, and that is where you'll find the rest of the parts of this book. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mindful walking. The practice of mindful walking can release the tension in your body. If you're really concentrated on your steps, you're fully established in the here and the now. and you are aware of the wonders of life that are ready to nourish and support you. You are in touch with life and you are advanced on the path of healing. Breathing in, I'm aware of tension in my body, and breathing out, I release the tension in my body. When you breathe in this way, you are already doing something for your healing. When you're caught by the past, you can't do anything for yourself. When you're pulled away by the future, by your fears and worries, you can't do anything either. So go into the present moment and you'll find out that there are things you can do right here and right now to facilitate your healing. You'll know what to eat and what not to eat for your health. You'll know which friend can help you with your difficulty. You can make a decision in the direction of healing. I am determined not to eat that anymore, not to drink that anymore, not to smoke that anymore. In the present moment, we have insight and we know what to do and what not to do, and what resources are available in the here and now. That's why our practice is to always go home to the present moment, where we can encounter all of the wonders of life that have the power to refresh, nourish, and heal. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you want to look for happiness, go back to the present moment. The present moment is the only door to happiness and well-being. When you go back to the present moment, you will find that there are so many conditions of happiness available. You can be happy right here, right now. These questions, or the question, is whether you are capable of being happy. You seek happiness, but maybe when happiness arrives, you're not capable of being happy. Suppose you're a child walking by a bakery. You see so many delicious things inside, and you hope that you can have one of those delicious looking cakes. If your mother would buy you one, you'd be so happy. In your child mind, maybe you hope that someday you'll be free to enter a bakery like that and eat anything you like. Imagine the owner of the shop is inviting you in and saying, "My dear child, you can have anything you want. The whole shop is for you." I don't know how you'd react with so many wonderful, delicious things to eat. Maybe you'd be confused. You might not know where to begin. You might try one, but if you ate it too quickly, you wouldn't be able to eat anymore. When we go home to the present moment, we may feel like that. There are so many wonderful things, so many conditions of happiness available that we don't know what to do. We can begin with mindful breathing, mindful walking, and movement, and allowing ourselves to be in touch with nature to see whether we can handle the beauty and the happiness that life gives us. It's very important to learn how to take steps in mindfulness, in freedom and ease. It can bring you a lot of healing and transformation, a lot of freedom and joy. You are welcome to make not just one step, but 2, 3, or 4 steps, and you'll be overwhelmed by happiness. It's very important that we cultivate our capacity of being happy. Happiness is only available here in the present moment, and you'll find that there are many conditions of happiness, more conditions of happiness than you thought. Mindfulness, concentration, and insight are the sources of happiness. If we are mindful of something, then we naturally begin to concentrate on it. Our concentration increases the quality of happiness. Suppose you have a good cup of tea. If you're mindful, you can concentrate on your tea. Your tea becomes something very real. The time of tea drinking makes you so happy because you're not disturbed. Your mind is not in the past, the future, or lost on your projects. The tea is the object of your concentration. That's why drinking tea in that moment can make you very happy. The more you are concentrated, the happier you become. We are used to thinking of money, power as sources of happiness. But we already have many true sources of happiness in us that we don't know how to enjoy. When you are mindful and concentrated, insights arise. You don't need to force it. When you have insight, you can be very happy because insight always liberates you. If you are inhabited by fear, you cannot be happy or joyful. If you are inhabited by worries, desire, or craving, you can't be peaceful. you can't be happy. But when you have insight, fear, and cravings are removed. Sorry, I read that very strangely. All right, but when you have insight, fear and craving are removed, and true happiness comes to you. Home is here and now. When I look outside, there's a bamboo grove on my left and a forest and a vineyard on my right. And when I feel very clearly that I'm home. Our home is not in our memories. It's not a path leading to our old elementary school or the blossoming of a tree from childhood. Those are memories. If you live in the present moment deeply, you create a new homeland in a very profound way. The autumn leaves are beautiful, but the fresh green leaves of spring is also beautiful, and the deep green leaf of summer is beautiful too. In the present moment, if you see things deeper, more profoundly, you see the richness and the beauty of each tree. If you only see superficially, you might complain when it rains. But when you see deeply, you see the rain is wonderful, refreshing the earth, bringing us more water in the dry summer, and so on. Looking deeply, we enjoy everything. And when we feel that life is enjoyable, you have more peace and you think of many positive conditions you have. Now that you have some happiness and solidity, you can turn to your difficulty and try to undo the difficulty. Usually, we don't pay attention to what happens in the present moment. It's not until we're about to leave the place or a moment that we regret not having been truly present. Samtusta, we already have enough. The Buddha spoke of samtusta, which means that you are satisfied with the conditions of life that you have. You already have enough conditions to be happy, and it is thanks to your mindfulness that you don't need more. It is possible to feel that what you have is sufficient and you don't need anything else. If you have mindfulness, if you feel safe, you recognize that you have plenty of conditions to be happy already, and that you don't need to run into the future in order to get a few more conditions. We've seen many people without diplomas who are very happy. We've seen many people who don't have a big house or a big car, and they are perfectly happy. Even if they manage to get the object of their desire, they may not be happy and will want to run after another one. Samtusta has something been translated as the awareness. Samtusta has sometimes been translated as the awareness that you are satisfied with little. When you go home to the present moment and you review all of the conditions of happiness that you already have, you may find that there are more than enough for you to be happy right now. Samtusta, non-craving, may be difficult to understand at first, but if we practice observing and naming what we see in us and around us, it becomes clear. This understanding is an essential part of the basis for a global ethic. We see many people who have plenty of money, plenty of power, but who suffer very deeply. These people have stress, loneliness, craving, and addiction. We only need to look around and see with our own eyes that power, money, and desire are not the answer. We don't need anyone to tell us this. We don't need to take a leap of faith to believe this. We can simply look around. 4 practices for living happily in the present moment. We can be happy right here, right now. The first practice is our awareness of the present moment. The second practice is the contemplation on the interbeing nature of pairs of opposites, such as being and non-being, suffering and happiness, and birth and death. The third practice is to make a great vow to ourselves, the vow of a bodhisattva, to transform our suffering and help others to do the same. The fourth practice is to practice mindful consumption. The second noble truth explores the 4 nutriments and how what we consume affects our happiness and our suffering. We can choose to consume we can choose to consume only food, sounds, sights, and environments that increase our happiness, and we can avoid those that cause suffering. We can choose to eat healthy foods, focus our awareness on beautiful sights, listen deeply to those who use loving speech, and make a concentrated effort to be around those who bring us more happiness. Finding our path to happiness. Each of us has the capacity not only for great happiness, but also for bringing great happiness to others. Each of us has a Buddha nature. If we practice the ways of living happily in the present moment, we will water seeds of Buddha nature within us and help it grow. If Buddha has seen the path to well-being as happiness, it is because he touched this wisdom within himself. We need to do the same. We can't seek to receive the path from anyone else. In order to touch the seeds of wisdom within us, all we need to do is practice sitting, walking, listening, and acting with mindful awareness. If we are able to walk together on this path, it is because of our own practice, not because of something laid down by a god or a rule of law. That was part 5 of Good Citizens, Creating an Enlightened Society by Thich, Nhat, Hanh. Our friend Thai, the Vietnamese monk. If you've been enjoying this book, you can find the first 4 parts of this book on my YouTube, Asheric Meditation. You can link through on my bio. And then we're going to have a couple more parts to this book in the next week. I think I'll take the weekend off and get back to this on Monday. I think we've got about 3 or 4 parts left of this book, so not too much more to go. I thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this was Good Citizens, Creating an Enlightened Society, and we'll see you again next week.